Okay, guys, it's Friday. I have finished my audiobooks. I thought I'd start a new one. And I got talked into doing Iron Flame. So I read Fourth Wing on audio when it was like blowing up, and I was like, I know I'm not gonna like this because of like the reviews that I've seen, the full spoiler reviews that I've seen, but let's give it an honest try. And I did not like it. And I ranted to my boyfriend about how much I hated it and like what I didn't like, and got him to read it to be like, am I just being a hypocritical dick, or is this actually bad? And he was like, he finished it and he was like, you may have been a little over. He was like, but it wasn't good. So I thought we were done. I thought that was it. And then she announced she was going to do 5 books in total. And now there's like a TV series announced and everything. And I was like, ugh. And then like Iron Flame came out, and that is all that my Instagram was for like a solid 10 days. Literally it. Anyway, so my boyfriend asks me, are we gonna read Iron Flame? I was like, are we? And he was like, I think we are, right? Like, at least just to see. And I was like, okay. So it's like, if Libby has it and there's no hold, we'll get it. We share a Libby account, so it's gonna be kind of weird, but I'm gonna start it today. Doggo wants to go on a walk. I just finished most of my work responsibilities, so we're gonna go on a long walk and get started.
Is Zayden. He looks good, even with bruises marring the tawny brown skin under his eyes from lack of sleep.
Don't we look great this morning? So I'm like 2 hours into Iron Flame, and I honestly forgot how whiny Violet is. Like, whiny about specific things. Because we have like the toxic positivity about her syndrome that she has and how she can just think through the pain and all that. But like, she's so whiny, and I'm so frustrated that she is perfectly okay with her brother being like, I can't tell you everything because Dane could read your memories. And she's like, yeah, okay, that's safe. But then Zayden's like, I can't tell you everything because Dane could read your memories. And she's like, fuck you, you fucking dick. And I'm like, literally, you two had the same conversation. Like, and I'm supposed to side with you on one and not the other. Like, if you want to think that everyone in your life should be 100% honest with you about everything, then sure, okay, you can have that boundary. But, like, don't be upset when people don't follow it, because that's life. Like, I'm so frustrated already. And I'm over her bullshit. I'm so over it. Anyway, I gotta go bring some stuff to my mom's, so I'm gonna listen for another like 30 minutes, and 30 minutes on the way back, so we'll get another hour in today. I'm just kind of over it already, and I've got 26 more hours to go. Okay, so I've made it like another 11, so we're 11% in, so I made it another hour and a half, and we basically are back at the college. So we've just left where like she was attacked and she discovered her brother was alive, all this stuff. Now we went back to the college. We've got a new like person in charge this year because it was revealed that like Dane's father sent them into war, and Violet's mom was like, fuck you. So she replaced him with someone who appears to be a little bit more violent. We've just had the first years crossing the parapet, and this dude who's now in command, when they all like lined up for formation, a few people ran because dragons be scary, but like if you're going into like dragon riding, you would think that you would understand that dragons are big and scary, but apparently every year there's like a few people that run from like the side of the dragons. So a few people ran. So dude's dragon decided he was going to burn like a ton of people, like a ton of people. So Taryn had to come and like protect, and it's basically where we're at this point.
Okay, so we're 5 hours and 53 minutes in, and I should have started counting the number of times we were told how hot Zayden is, because I'm so done with it already. The first years started their like that thing where they have to do like their first fight to like show their skill level to like the teachers and shit. And Liam's little sister wanted to challenge Violet, was told no. So then somebody heard her name and like came out from the crowd and then was like, who's Violet? And then this girl with purple hair was like, me, don't you see the hair? And so dude walks up and snaps her neck and then attacks Violet, and Violet ends up killing him. But I'm like, I thought people couldn't go after bonded dragons. Like, I thought that was, or people who'd bonded with dragons. I thought that was the rule that we got in the last book, and now I'm really unsure whether it was a rule or not, but I feel like it was, because then you risk the dragon dying. Like, so why are we just not doing that? And then, so she goes and sees, like, Xaden's come for one visit, she's gone for one, so since he's now a lieutenant, so they're, like, split up, and they have to see each other once a fortnight. Well, one has leave every fortnight, so they see each other every week for, like, a couple of hours, basically, so that the dragons can have their dragon sexy time. And, it's, like, super under, like, lock and key, because they've got this new guy in charge, I think I mentioned before, who, like, apparently is trying to kill Violet, so he wants, like, the baby dragon to show up, and because the dragons don't listen to the humans, which was canon in the first book, now we got this guy who's like, no, the dragons will listen to me. And I'm like, he's supposed to be like a high military guy. What does he mean he thinks the dragons will listen to him? Like, genuinely don't understand. So we're punishing Violet for that by making her shoot lightning blast after lightning blast, to the point where she's like dislocated her shoulder, and she's like, I'll just push through the pain. So now we've got that bullshit. And I'm over it. I have so much left to go. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it before my Libby thing runs out. I need to call it for the night, because I just can't anymore. I can't. I'm 7.5 hours in, and Imogen is the only real one. She's like calling out Violet and like, bitch, you got a whole ass war to worry about. Quit bitching about this man. So I'm almost 30%, and I'm still sticking with that Imogen is the only real one here, because every time we see Xaden, pretty much all we do is have Violet complain about the fact that they can't fuck. That's literally it. She's just like so focused on that.
I wanted you to kiss me, but only kiss me. I start.
And hardly anything else, and we're 30% in. I could see like starting off the book with that, just to kind of remind us of the tension we created in the end of the tension we created in the end of the other one, with her being like, we're not together anymore because you lied to me. And the thing is she's so upset, and she actually even mentions this herself, that he lied to her, but then she's lying to him. And I'm like, it's getting redundant. Like, she's expecting him to allow her to tell her friends about the rebellion and everything. And I'm like, do we not understand that we are at war and that there is a deeper war happening? Like, do we not understand that? Why are we so focused on this whole friendship requires 100% open and honest, like, communication when we are in a literal war? And I don't understand the focus on that. I do appreciate and understand that when you are in a relationship with someone, there's a level of honesty that's expected. However, if you're in a relationship with someone that has top secret clearance for a job, you cannot expect them to tell you everything that happens at their job. That's literally the point of their top secret clearance. You don't have that clearance. They cannot tell you. They risk their job. And at this point, because we're in a war, he's not risking his job. He's risking his life and the lives of everyone else that is in the rebellion. If he tells her everything, and if he tells her who all is involved and all the details that she wants to know, it literally risks everything. So her focus on this, and she's supposed to be so smart and so clever, smartest of her year, clever girl, all this fucking bullshit, but she does not understand the risk that she puts everything at by her demand for 100% open truths about everything. She doesn't just want him, he said, ask me a question and I will answer it truthfully.
So truthfully means I can't tell you that, or here's the answer. But she won't ask a question. She just wants him to word vomit all the details, every single fucking thing. And I'm like, girl, you're supposed to be smart. How are you... This is why I'm so mad with this whole, like, trope of the super smart main character. If I'm going to write a character that's incredibly smart, I need to at least have some intelligence about the situation that I'm writing about. And this is so fucking rushed. There's no way, like, a single pass through of an actual beta reader, not just a fangirl who's like, oh my god, I love what you do, but an actual editor or a beta reader who actually takes the time to read the book and give feedback other than, oh my god, perfect, love it. Like, would catch that this is a problem, and your tension that you're creating, your drama that you're creating is entirely fabricated on a stupid fucking premise. I shouldn't talk about things when I'm hungover because I'm so fucking mad. So I'm gonna go take my dog to my mom's house and let him run, and I'm gonna finish my energy drink and try to wear off the last of this brain fog that is just making me rage at this book. So I'm gonna like... I need to be done. I'm like 8 hours in now, so I'm 30%, almost 30%. It is so hard for me to listen to more than like 2 hours of this book a day, which is 4 hours because I'm listening to it on, well, it's a little bit more now because I bumped it up to like 2.5 because Violet sounds whiny anyway. I might as well listen to her in 2.5. So I listen to about 5 hours a day, but it's a 28 fucking hour book. This book has no right to be nearly 700 pages. If we took out so much shit, like we walked to the desk and took out our pens, we don't need to know that, girl. Like, I don't need to know every single step. And that's the weird thing too, right? So we get steps of like, I did this, then I did that, then I did this, but then we skip a whole fucking week. And I'm like, okay, so why are we giving all these tiny little details and then just skipping a week? Like, why do the girlies love this? And I don't mean that derogatorily. Like, I don't mean the girlies in like a misogynistic way. Like, 100% I call myself a Stephen King girly. Like, I want to be a girly and like this, but I can't. I want to. Why do they like this? Like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go read more. I ranted so loudly that the dog ran away, and now he's coming to check on me because he's worried. You good old man, huh? Look at this boy's face. You want to go for a run? Yeah? You want to go see Sophie and go for a run? Look at this cute face. All right, I'm going to go do that. Okay, so my eyes are a little red. My allergies are not happy. I just took a pill, but I should probably, and I should probably wait, but I'm just going to do this now. So when I left after my last rant, I listened for a little bit longer on my way to my mom's and then on my way home from my mom's. And there was actually a scene that I was like, if we did more of this could actually be a good book. So Rhiannon is bothered by the fact that Violet is shutting her out and not telling her anything. And she's like, look, I know you went through a thing, but I also lost a friend, so you could talk to me about it and I would understand. And Rhiannon keeps pushing. He doesn't like it when I talk about this stuff. Rhiannon keeps pushing, and eventually Violet snaps and is like, look, he died in my arms, and like every time I close my eyes I see his face, and like she does this big like long explanation of the trauma that she's experiencing from witnessing the death, a traumatic death, a violent death of one of her really good friends. But this is the only time that this is really brought up, except for that she's having nightmares where it's someone else that dies. Like, her worst nightmare is that it's Xaden that it happens to. And I'm like, that's so downplaying the actual trauma that she'd be experiencing. And if we actually focused on that, because this was at hour like 9 of a 28-hour book. It took us that long for her to actually like admit that it's a problem, and for us to, even on her internal monologue, we got hardly anything about Liam. Like, It's been really few and far between, and it's only been when someone else mentions him. And it's only been in regards to his sister and Violet feeling responsible for his death because his sister kind of triggering that. But it's been a sentence here or there. We haven't even had an examination of it. And if we focused on that and the actual like PTSD, survival guilt, something like that, instead of this, oh my god, I want to fuck Xaden so bad, the story might be better. But we're literally just focusing on how much she wants to fuck Xaden. And it's like so frustrating, and it doesn't feel real. It feels incredibly immature. And I know that they're 21, and I know at 21 I made a lot of stupid decisions, and I had a lot of stupid emotions. But this seems extreme. It's like, it seems incredibly unreasonable and immature of a response. And I wish we would focus a little bit more, because the scene with her expressing her like emotions to Rhiannon was actually fairly well written. And this keeps happening. There'll be like 2 paragraphs that are well written, and then the rest is horseshit. And I'm just like, I'm struggling with it because of that. The other thing that I don't like, though, and what killed the scene for me, is that Violet's takeaway from witnessing her friend die is that what the school is doing with killing everyone and letting everyone die is actually a good thing, because it's setting them up to be able to process people's death. And I feel like there's better ways that they could do that. Like, you don't need to experience death like that on a daily basis and become numb to it in order to have an understanding of how to process it in the field. And yeah, like, you know, not everyone's going to have the good initial response, but not everyone is also going to be able to be numb to it by seeing it all the time. And when you're constantly talking about how few riders there are and how it's less and less every year, and we keep killing them off, and this year we've killed off a ton with this crazy guy, who's the new Varish or something like that. He's the new like leader of the school because Dane's dad got exiled, sent somewhere else. And this guy is like very violent. His dragon is incredibly violent. And so his dragon killed like a third of one of the wings. And there was actually another kind of good scene that was like, at least had a little bit of tension in it, where Taryn like attacks this other dragon, Solus, and like attacks him. And he's the dragon of the new like leader of the military school. And he attacks him to like prove a point to the leader that the dragons don't answer to humans. And this guy keeps being like, yeah, the dragons don't answer, but Violet does. So therefore Violet's dragons have to answer. And I'm like, your logic isn't logicking. And it's stressing me out. It's like, what's that pink woman in Harry Potter? It's like, we're kind of setting up this guy to be her, the one that everyone hates. I was never really into Harry Potter. But she's the one with the pink and the bob and everyone hates her. This feels like we're trying to just do that. We're just using tropes and recycling them. Anyway, that's my thoughts at 10 hours into the book. I stopped. I listened a little bit further till like the action slowed down when I got home. So I'm at like 10 hours and 15 minutes. And again, in a 28-hour book. I'm starting to sound as repetitive as this book. So I'm gonna watch something while my allergy pill kicks in, and then I'm gonna read Holly and just like have a break. So let me show you the cute dog right now, because he's being very cute. Look at this. Look at this cute boy. He loves this green rug. It's like his favorite thing. And he has this comfy bed over here. He just chooses to dump his toys on it. And he sleeps on the rug. I think it's so he can make eyeballs at his food mat, hoping that I feed him. But anyway, he's very cute. He's very sleepy. First video since my phone has updated. So I think things might be a little bit different in the screen. It says, but it doesn't look different. So I thought I would check in. I haven't read anything new yet, but I'm going to clear out my fabric. So one of my other hobbies is sewing, and I haven't done anything with it in a little while. So let me show you what I'm working with. I have all of this scrap. Some is scrap, some is this tote.
is half-started projects or projects that need repair. And then because I put something way too heavy in my purse for the strap that I made, and the strap ripped off, so I need to fix that. So then I have all of these just fabric totes. And my sister told me the other day that she's starting to do, and she's like sewing little like rice bags. So I was like, hey, do you want me to go through my scrap? Because I'm always trying to find a way to get rid of my smaller scraps that I won't use, because I'm trying to move to bigger projects like jackets. This is a dress I'm turning into a jacket that was for a steampunk wedding I went to. That's those buttons. But like, I'm always looking to get rid of my smaller scrap. So I'm going to listen to some Fourth Wing. Iron Flame. I keep just calling it Fourth Wing. Honestly. I'm going to listen to Iron Flame and go through some of this. And then I've got to go to the gym around 7. So I'll listen to more there. So I'll have some check-in for you as things are happening, and hopefully the cars aren't too loud. This bitch is so stupid. Because they told her that there was an injured rider where her sister and Zayden are stationed. And the person who told them touched the side of her neck. Therefore, it means it was Zayden, so this bitch just, like, ran out of the room. Why? So she told her friends, and they're all understanding because they're like, yeah, okay, that is something that you probably shouldn't have told us. And we understand why you didn't tell us. And I forgive you for that. This understandable. And she's like, no, you should all hate me. No, they're being rational. Why are we like making... I worried him. Why are we making Violet more and more and more reactable? Like, why are we escalating her irrationality just for tension when there's so many other things going on that we could lean into for tension? It drives me fucking crazy. Okay, so some paid assassins come in. They're infantry, so they're not supposed to be in the quadrant, but they admit that they're paid to come in, and dog, you don't have to go away every time I start talking. They're paid to come in and kill her. But the thing is, we know there's like 4 more books. She's not gonna die. So the whole scene with her like hanging from a cliff's edge, struggling to get purchase, but like the guy telling her to just let go, and her being like, oh my god, if I fall, we're all dead. And she's not gonna die. So what's the fucking point of being worried? I was just like, okay, get the scene over with. Like, she's announcing that there's so many books has literally taken away any risk of us losing the main character, because we know she won't kill anyone. Like, Liam was like the only one, and that's probably the only death that like actually had some sort of build-up. But like, she's not gonna kill anyone in the inner circle. I don't think she's brave enough. So there's literally no risk to them. Okay, guys. So I got to like 50%-ish last night. And I need a break. I just can't with this anymore. So we're going to take a break. And I'm going to post this as part 1 because I finished part 1 last night. So she's been kidnapped. She's been like tortured, and Dane has read her memories to like witness the scene of Liam dying, and this results in Dane like suddenly changing sides, which good on him, good character growth. So he changes sides and like ends up stabbing the guy in charge of the school, and frees her at the same time as like Zayden breaks in and saves her. And then there's like a whole scene with her mom, and it's just a lot of like pointless drama. Like I was at the gym last night being like, oh my god, I just want to turn on my phone and rant about this. And I'm just like, today I'm just like fucking over it. We could have ended the book there. That's the fucking thing, right? We could have ended the book there, and it could have been like, okay, you know, maybe if we flush this out, get it with an editor, get some stuff dealt with, we could actually have a decent story. But there's too much in here that she was trying to do. She's trying to do way too fucking much in like, guys, this is so not well written. I don't understand why any of you like it. Like, I mean, I'm not like, I just want to know. Like, I'm not like, oh my God, how could you like this? I'm like, how? Like, is it just, are you just like, are we just not paying attention to like the bad writing? Are we not paying attention to like the multiple storylines that don't make sense? Are we just like being like, oh, they're so cute and in love? Because they're not, sorry, I'm cooking. They're like not cute and in love. And like, really all she wants to do is like manipulate him into sleeping with her. And that scene really pissed me off last night, where he's like, I told you have to tell me that you love me if you want to sleep with me. And she's like, but I'm not going to tell you that. And I just want, can't we just fuck? So they like been making out. They're okay with like making out. And so, and like, I skipped through most of the sex scenes because they just make me cringe. I think there's been more, like, I think there's been like some like oral and shit, which I'm like, I don't understand the difference between putting a line on oral or penetrative sex. Like, they're both extremely intimate. In some cases, I do think that like oral sex is more intimate than penetrative sex. Like in some cases, it definitely can, like, feels like it might be. I've been in, okay. That's a whole conversation. It's a weird purity culture conversation, and I don't have time for it right now. But so they're like getting really into their like makeout sesh, and so she's like trying to convince him, so she takes her hair down because he's told her multiple times, if you take your hair down you could get me to do anything. So she's like manipulating him, and then eventually, like, while they're going at it, she does tell him that she loves him, like, and so they're like back together now. And it's just, it was so manipulative, and I'm like, why are we not acknowledging the toxicity of this sexual relationship, and her like manipulating him when he set a clear boundary? And why is it okay that she's trying to manipulate him to like have sex with her when he has set this emotional boundary for himself? Why are we not okay with that? And I just needed a break, like, because now, yeah, they're back together and everything's fine between them, and now there's other shit going on, and we're kind of at the, hold on a second, I had to stir my turkey. So we're like, we're at a part where everyone's like gone to the secret hidey place, and that's kind of where we stopped. And I'm just like, this could have been one book, and the other part of it could have been the second book, especially since we're doing 5. So I need a break. I'm gonna take a couple of days off of it, and I'm just gonna post, because already most of my like little talking to you sessions are over 5 minutes long. Like, so I've already got a lot, and I don't want to make this unbearably long. So we're going to do part 1 and part 2, since the book is split up into those 2 parts. But I gotta go cook before my grease starts splashing everywhere. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. And actually, give me a sec. Okay, so we're going to take a break, and then I'm going to do part 2. So if you want to see part 2, subscribe, like, comment. Like, I'm still going to do it, but if you subscribe and you hit the bell, you'll get the notice when it comes out. If you're interested in this, and if you like how I talked about it, and if you agree with any of this, again, like, I'm really not trying to shit on anyone who likes this. I don't understand, but you probably don't understand why I like Stephen King. Look, one of my favorite Stephen King books, Dreamcatcher, is his lowest rated book. Anytime anyone posts like their favorite Stephen King book, they're like, oh, like on Reddit, they're like, oh, this is probably like one you hate, and people are like, as long as it's not Dreamcatcher. And I'm like, so I get it that it's like, you know, I get liking things that other people don't like. So I'm not trying to shit on anyone. I just don't understand it. And I think this is so poorly written and has so many problematic like themes in it. There's so many problematic like scenes and themes and dialogue. And I'm confused by it. Bro, I don't know, man. So anyway, that is my thoughts on part 1, in chronological order of me reading this book. So I also am putting, ooh, that was weird. I also am putting out a summary video with some more extended thoughts on some deeper things. So on some different things. So if you want to check that out, that'll be up too. And I'm going to do one of those for each of them, because I don't want to add like all of my thoughts on the entire book to the end of this, because then I'll be here forever. So
Anyway, like I said, I'll be back with part 2 in a week or so, and I've got some more stuff coming up for you in the meantime. So thanks for hanging out with me while I read, and I'm gonna go finish my lunch, and I will talk to you soon.